a result, as a result, they have no confidence, their health, and they suffer from malnutrition and, uh, poor health. Hence, we need to take care of these issues along with income. Next one, please. Can you go to the next slide? You can see this slide here. We can go skip to the next one. And also in agriculture, remember one thing, almost 20% of the 20 million holders, there are 2 crore holders are women. They hold about 13% of the land holding. Women farmers in this country means they are women-headed farmers. Most of them are invariably weak. And if you see, yeah, next one, please. If you look to the poverty, can we go to the next slide? The poverty is marked here. You can see the table. The worst affected by poverty are Chhattisgarh. 39% of the rural people are poor. Jharkhand 36%, Bihar 33%, Odisha 32%, Madhya Pradesh 31%, Uttar Pradesh will be around 29 to 30. Now you can see the marking, where the poverty is concentrated. And if you look to these agroecological zones, these zones are not really bad. Generally, there is a feeling that agriculture is poor because there is a lack of rainfall, lack of good weather conditions. But if you look to the reality, this is the real fertile belt. In most of these villages, in fact, in many places, water is a curse. No, scarcity of water is curse. Like in Rajasthan, people are poor because they don't have water. But in this red circled area, many places water is a curse. They have more water. That only indicates that there is something which we can manage to address the problems of water and land. That means the poverty eradication in this region is easier than to the western side like Rajasthan and all. It's very difficult because there's a area. So this is one more challenge and an opportunity for the agricultural graduates. Next one, please. And as 86% of the families are holding less than 2 hectares, it is impossible for these farmers to make their living or earn about 75 to 80,000 rupees a year from agriculture alone. That's the reason why you can see we have almost about 15 crore families dependent. Almost 85, 90% of the farmers are having livestock. And among them, almost 65 million farmers are having cattle, about 40 million farmers are having buffaloes, 33 million farmers are having goat, 4.5 million farmers are having sheep, and about 2.5 million farmers are having pig. And if you look to the total population, we have the largest population. But not necessarily all the farmers who are maintaining cattle or buffaloes, they are not prosperous. In many
Hello.
places, livestock itself is a liability because if the livestock is unproductive, if the livestock is not able to provide income, farmer will suffer further. If he cannot feed the animals well, he will let the animals to loose in the open grazing area or forest lands, and they create pressure on biodiversity. So it is important that we need to address the problem of unproductive animals. Simultaneously, it's an opportunity to make best use of these animals for contributing to the income. My topic today is how agriculture can adopt animal husbandry as part of the program to have a win-win situation. Next one, please. Now again, this is a statistics. You can see higher, all the states where the poverty is high, they also have higher population. You can see the livestock in the rank. West Bengal has the highest cattle population, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Jharkhand. So in all the poverty-stricken states, you have an opportunity to cattle development because most of these cattle are poor. That's the reason why they don't reflect in the milk production. You can see the population. If you look at the ranking of these states based on the milk production, they don't stand anywhere at the top. Next one, please. Same is the situation with buffaloes. You have the states with a higher buffalo population are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Haryana. Third, next one, please. If you look to the sheep population, again, Rajasthan, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, this is little twisted. And we go to the goat population, next one, please. You can see again, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. So this indicates that these poor states, they also have a lot of abundant, quantity of and a number of livestock, which are, most of them are neglected, which have, it's an opportunity to take them together. Next one, please. So this is again pig population. They are mostly in the northeast. Next one, please. Now, regarding the economics of livestock, I have been working with an organization called BIFE. I joined BIFE in the year 1974, and I dissociated, retired in the year only 2017. So over the last 45 years, what we did in BIFE was to deliver the services at the doorstep. For example, these two photos, the cow and buffalo, these are taken from very close to Varanasi. These are the farmers in Azamgarh, somewhere border between Varanasi and Azamgarh. These farmers are so prosperous. Our experience in BIFE, similar, we can go to the, you can also see the cattle. The problem is our strategy is to make best use of the non-productive animal in the villages, because farmer doesn't require to pay anything. आज भी गांव में जो लो प्रोडक्टिव गाय है वो गोदान में फ्री मिलता है. Our strategy has been to use these cows, breed them with high quality semen of better breed, and produce a crossbred which produces 10 times more milk over the mothers. For example, on an average, our desi non-productive cows, which represented almost about 80% in the year 1975, today the percentage has gone up. They were average producing about 200 to 300 liters of milk per lactation, and their daughters, they produce about 2,500 liters. Now, if you have 2 or 3 cows, the farmer's family is able to earn about 75,000 rupees net income over a year. That means if you have 2 cows, the farmer, you are out of poverty. Now, what I am trying to say is, if our vegetable producers, if our agriculture producers, if we can work with these dairy farmers, then you can make wonders. That's what my future case studies will tell you, because they have the beauty of the livestock and agriculture combination is that the animals eat away all the forage, because 55% of the fodder today fed to our livestock is crop residues. So otherwise farmer doesn't know. Now in Punjab, Haryana, farmers are burning. They are creating, pollution by burning the straw. On the other hand, if we are very wise, we use it for feeding animals, and that recycles and forms into organic matter, cow dung, apart from giving milk. Now that cow dung, if you convert into biogas or vermicompost and use it for organic as a manure, you are going to improve the quality of the crop by putting into organic cropping. If not 100% organic, at least sustainable cropping. You can produce something, residue-free crop produce by adopting this. If at all we want to promote organic farming, if at all we want to have residue-free agriculture, it is almost impossible. It is possible, but very difficult. It's easy if you have livestock. Only thing what is important is you don't want to have the livestock which are unproductive. Make them produce one progeny. If you use the unproductive cow, next 3 years, the calf born becomes productive. The unproductive cow costs only about 1,000 rupees, and 500 these days, nobody wants to lift that also. Whereas a crossbred cow can cost about 50,000 rupees. Now in the picture 2, this buffalo, the owner was telling, somebody wanted to pay him, 75,000. He said he did not sell it. because he was expecting 90,000. That's a confidence. When people have, livestock, that is like a bank fixed deposit. Anytime they are in crisis, they can sell, get the money. Otherwise, they can continue. So, unfortunately, in our system, there is kind of, compartmentalization. There is silo system. There is no problem. But what we can do is at the village level, we can interface with some of the local organizations, farmer organization, or as a voluntary organization, so that they can become interface with the science and technology institution and the farmers, so that there will be one window integrated concept which can make the life of the farmers better. This is what an organization like BIFE did over the last 50 years. And this is an opportunity even in the future, that if you are able to work with a grassroots level organization, farmers organization, these days there is a producer company, then it's easier for us to transfer all the technology. Moment we decide to go on our own, this technology will not last. They cannot ground on the village level, because moment we come back, because technology is only a small component. Technology is like a culture virgin for making milk to butter, buttermilk or curds. The farmer is milk. Our technology is like a drop of buttermilk to create culture, and only for culture doesn't make anything. So we need to really work at the village level. Working is more for mentoring, more for awareness, more for facilitation of backward forward integration. Then we can make wonders. And I can tell, next slide, please. This is a very interesting study I carried out few years ago. This is the impact of cattle development program, dairy husbandry program in the country. This was a study taken up by me about, this is a study of about 10 years, taken in 11 states where BIFE has been operating cattle breeding program. Now you can see the green and red marking. Before the BIFE went into the cattle development program, the average income of the farmer was 16,000 to something like 30,000. The average, last column says, the average income of a family was 20,000 rupees. After a period of 7 to 8 years, and BIFE intervened, because 4 years take place in producing a new cow, which becomes cow. After that, within 3-4 years, farmers start making money. The average income of about 1,100 farmers, this was sample survey, was 1,11,000 rupees. Now this amplifies that with 2 or 3 cows, a poorest of the poor fellow can also come out of poverty. Now the last column says, when we started, out of 1,100, only 260 were above the poverty line. By the BIFE, the above poverty line number has increased by 260%. That means this technology is working in the ground. So now, this, once you have this program, then, the add-on program becomes, kind of miraculous. Next one, please. This is about cattle. We also did the same thing with the goat. We worked in several states.